drivers settle themselves down on the grid. Ladies and gentlemen, the drivers wait on the grid. Cadet Honda. This is the 7th year that has been part of the MSA British Kartmasters Grand Prix. Prizes, the GP plate, an Oculus Rift and Touch virtual reality system for the winner. Set of tyres to the top 3. And the winners of this event: Stephen Prentice in 2011, Luke Wooder in 2012, Rory Hudson in 2013, Mark Kimber in 2014, Kieran Jeremy in 2015, last year's champion Harry Thompson. And as we watch and look at the assembled grid, we can see that we have a couple of contenders. So Kart Mechanic Bingo. If your mechanic has any one of the following 7 items, if they have their radio earpiece in, they need to check radio earpiece. Do they have their receiver around the back by their backside? Do they have their team t-shirt stroke tight fitted jacket? The t-shirt must be tight, it cannot be baggy, it must have the team logo on it. Do they have the mechanic shorts, which are very tight above the knee? They must stop above the knee, they must be very tight at the bottom, and they must have their team logo on them. Do they then have element number 5? Some very expensive, ideally extremely brightly coloured trainers. And then they have their apron, their team logo on the apron. Do they have their mechanic's tan? We'll check that. And there go the balloons. Straight into the grandstand. Nope, they're up and away. So raising money for the Links and Knots Air Ambulance, and everyone who has bought a ticket has got a ticket attached to the bottom of that. That is the release of the balloons, and we look down at the assembled grid. Pole position, driving kart number 7 for Next Gen Motorsport, it's Archie Brown. Archie currently leading the British Cadet Honda Championship. On the outside of row number 1, driving the number 2 kart for Virtus Motorsport, last year's Grand Prix runner-up Oliver Behrman. On the inside of row 2, driving kart number 70, one of 6 drivers doing both cadet classes. Driving for the Next Gen team, it is Aston Miller. On the outside of row 2, another Next Gen Motorsport driver, driver number 95, Southampton, Sonny Smith. On the inside of row 3, driving kart number 12 for the Fusion Motorsport team, is Koskan Irfan. On the outside of row 3, leading privateer in the field, driving kart number 74, who finished 5th in last year's Grand Prix, that is Theo McCurris. Driver number 38, Alfie Rigby, currently 13th in this year's British Championship. He starts on the inside of row number 4, and on the outside of row 4, privateer driver number 64, 16th in the Grand Prix last year, it's Oliver Greenall. Row number 5, number 63, Virtus Motorsports kart of double duty driver Oliver Gray. And on the outside of row 5, the number 36 Next Gen Motorsport kart of Neo Phipps. Ambition Motorsports driver number 27, Zach Walters, starts on the inside of row 7, and Harvey Charter for the Global Karting team starts the number 29 kart on the outside of row number 6. The number 73 Project 1 kart of Tristan Rennie and his Project 1 teammate, the number 79, Kyle Casibante, who finished 20th in last year's Grand Prix. They share row 7. On row number 8, double duty driver number 23, Ollie Roland Motorsports, Arvid Lindblad. Arvid finished 8th in last year's Cadet Honda Grand Prix, and the O-Plate winner, the British Open champion for Global Karting, Lucas Ellingham. Daniel Ginchard and Ethan Simmons start on row 9. Ryan Willis and Josh McLean on row 10. Justin Brouard and Marcus Lucio on row 11. Sandro Ballesteros and Luke West on row 12. Declan Russell on row 13. The green flag at the back of the grid is raised. The drivers look at the gantry. Lights out. We are racing in the 2017 Kartmasters Grand Prix Finals, and it is poleman Archie Brown who leads the field under the Litchfield Bridge for the first time and out onto the banking. Drivers going very wide there, try and get the best run onto the bridge. All 25 Cadet Hondas safely through the first 3 corners, and there's a collision at the back of the field with 2 drivers going up the banking. But at the front it is Archie Brown who has the race lead. It's the number 69 kart. It was one of those, Ethan Simmons, but it's Brown. In the number 7, his teammate Aston Miller runs second. Then it's Alfie Rigby. Great start from Rigby. He said the key was overtake in the drivers' parade. He is doing just that. Joshua McLean in the number 76 kart was also caught up in that first lap incident at turn number 4. Miller holding on to second on your screens with the green and white BRK kart of Rigby in third. Archie Brown completes lap number 1. The lead of nearly 3/4 of a second, but that will disappear very shortly. In fact, it has already disappeared because the slipstream effect comes into play. Brown heads the field over the bridge. There, flashing through turn number 4 is the number 2 Virtus Motorsport kart of Oliver Behrman, currently running in 4th place. It's Brown and Miller. Make that Brown, Rigby, Behrman and Miller. The top 4. Then it is Oliver Greenall. Great start for number 64, Oliver Greenall, from 8th up to 5th. Oliver Gray is next. Then Harvey Charter in 7th place. Theo McCurris in 8th. Behrman sets off after race leader Archie Brown through the Mike Wilson complex. Then they flick left. Will that left hander they've just gone through be the scene of any last gasp desperation maneuvers before the afternoon is out? You can almost guarantee it. Change of lead. Behrman, with help from Rigby, moves into top spot. The field file through now. Oliver Behrman knew he had to, anything less than a win after finishing second last year would be a failure for Behrman in his own eyes. He will be checking over his shoulder, signaling to Alfie Rigby, come on, let's go. Because he knows that Brown and Miller and the number 64 kart of Oliver Greenall, they will all try and work as one to get up to the front. There is the number 63 kart on your screen, another of the Virtus Motorsport machines. That is Oliver Gray, and he is chasing number 95 of Sonny Smith. That is for 6th position, so the front 5 have broken clear. And it falls to Smith and Gray and Harvey Charter and Theo McCurris. Oscar Irpin just behind them to hunt down the top 5. And there is the move from Irfan, who was the dominant factor in most of the heat races in that number 12 Virtus kart. Irfan won 2 of his 4 races. He had 2 wins and a 2nd place finish, but he now finds himself down in 7th place. Behrman and Rigby continue to lead, 0.3 of a second in front of Archie Brown, Aston Miller and Oliver Greenall. The back of the pack. Off camera we have had a couple of little spins. These three drivers now chasing the two green and white predominantly liveried machines. Brown, Miller and Greenall go under the bridge. Onto the banking, and you can see Brown and Miller are closing in down the hill. The front five have got daylight between them. Aston Miller pushing Archie Brown, his teammate, along, sets a new fastest lap, 68.45 seconds. All 25 drivers are still running. Luke Weston, Ethan Simmons, Zach Walters, Josh McLean and Sandro Ballesteros have all had grassy moments, but are still running. And a change behind the top five, that is not going to help the chasing pack. Koskin Irfan, Theo McCurris, Harvey Charter, Sonny Smith and Daniel Ginchard trying to work together best they can, chasing these three with 9 minutes to go. On to the start finish straight in front of the packed spectator grandstand, past the dummy grid, the panorama room, underneath the starting gantry, and then through the flat out right left chicane, the Bruno Ferrari bend, under the bridge, out onto the banking, steep climb uphill, but they're going flat out, and these Cadet Honda karts 50 miles an hour across the bridge, hard right downhill. Perfect opportunity to overtake into this hairpin. Behrman knows that bends. Rigby tries to attack. Their attempts to get away will be spoiled. Through the second hairpin now. Up the short chute, past where the timing and scoring building used to be. Now into the Fullerton S's. Left, right. Careful not to run out too wide on the curbs at the exit. They head down to the back straight. Another 90-degree right-hander at Bobby Game corner, which sets them up instantly for the Mike Wilson complex. Doubles back on yourself. You turn right then, left flick. Then into the final chicane, left and right. Over the curbs, but not onto the grass blocks to complete another lap. Behrman and Rigby are now half a dozen kart lengths clear of the number 7 of Archie Brown. Brown has not got anyone to push him along because Miller and Greenall are another 10 kart lengths behind them. So if Archie Brown in kart number 7, the current British Championship leader, he is going to get on terms with the two leaders. He has to do it without any help. He's got Miller in that distinctive blue and orange crash helmet, and Greenall trying to catch him, to work with him. There's Aston Miller, number 70 Next Gen Motorsport team, the Next Gen team run by former double Kartmasters champion David Bell Chambers. So David, who does a lot of driver coaching, will have been coaching his drivers, just getting them into the mental frame of mind, what you need to do to win this race. Well, I'm not a driver coach, but I can tell them that what they need to do to win this race is they need to catch those two karts that are trying to break away and win. Instead, those two karts, Behrman and Rigby. Sonny Smith sets a new fastest lap. That is the number 95 kart in 7th place. Theo McCurris is in 6th. The gaps are growing, and I have to say, this is something of a surprise that the Cadet Honda race is so spread out, because throughout the heats we have seen trains of karts running together. McCurris in that black and gold kart, back of the camera shots coming into the Fullerton S's. It's got ahead of Smith. Then there's a gap back to Koskin Irfan. Daniel Ginchard is working with Irfan, so is Harvey Charter and Lucas Ellingham in 11th. Oliver Gray is then 12th, followed by Arvin Lindblad in 4th. Tristan Rennie and Arvin Lindblad. Neo Phipps and Justin Brouard are next. The top 20 is rounded out by Ryan Willis, Kyle Casabante, Declan Russell and Marcus Muzio. All 25 drivers still running. But the Leaders have a 1.2 second advantage over Archie Brown, and Brown is now falling back into the clutches of Miller and Greenall, and that may not be a bad thing as McCurris breaks into the 1:07 barrier. 1:07.97, because Rigby tried to wrestle the lead away from Behrman very briefly there. Behrman was having none of it. But if Brown does fall back into the clutches of Miller and Greenall, they will work together, the three of them. He has. So Miller will push Brown. Greenall will push Miller. And 12 wheels, 3 engines will have a lot more momentum than 4 wheels and 1 engine. The question is, do they have time? Because the gap to Behrman and Rigby is growing. It's now 1.6 seconds. Through turn number 1. McCurris and Smith, they haven't given up yet either. There's still 4.5 minutes to go, and if Behrman starts to defend, and he'll have to because Alfie Rigby is right there with him, and Alfie Rigby, he had a 23rd place finish in his 3rd heat, but other than that, 6th in qualifying on Thursday, and then a 6th, a 5th, sorry, a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 7th for Rigby. So even though he is the lone bullet in the BRK karting gun, as it were, he has been very quick, and of course he's found a temporary teammate in Oliver Behrman, and they will work together while it serves both of them well to do so, until the time ticks down to very little. Cross the line. 10 laps now complete. And Rigby, well, he's got his nose cone resting on the rear bumper of Behrman's car. If he got any closer, he could quite literally pick his nose for it. McCurris again, a 67.181. Chasing pack, now 5 strong, because McCurris has to turn around and thank Sonny Smith for that fastest lap, because it is Smith who is pushing McCurris up to Greenall. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th now all in a line. Just under 3 minutes to go, the gap is 1.8 seconds, and we've had a change, a brief change, as Alfie Rigby off camera has grabbed the lead. Now Oliver Behrman grab it straight back. I think he might have done, but it's Brown, Miller, Behrman back in front. Rigby, the gap was 1.87, it's now 1.85, but McCurris and Greenall are side by side. They don't need to do that, they've got to work together onto the banking. Time is ticking, 2 minutes plus a lap. McCurris again fastest, 107.54. Behrman still leads. Rigby now has to start thinking, when? When do I go? How long do I leave it? Do I wait until the last lap, or do I go now? The gap is down to 1.7 seconds, so Brown and Miller, Greenall, McCurris and Smith are closing. Irfan is now 8, but the gap back to Irfan is 4 seconds. Of the drivers still in with a shout, and I'll count the top 7 as those drivers with a chance. Brown and Miller are doing double duty. Behrman putting all his karting eggs in the 4-stroke Honda basket, as it were. Round the banking, Alfie Rigby not made his move yet, but we are into the final 60 seconds. Who's going to become the 136th driver? Write their name on the Kartmasters Roll of Honour, and it's breaking loose for 3rd. Now, Brown needs to not get caught up in a battle. 30 seconds to go. The gap is 1.4 seconds. They are closing, and if this group coming through the camera shot now just hangs on for another half a lap, then the leaders will start coming back to them, because Rigby will undoubtedly try to make a move, and Behrman will have to defend. And the minute Behrman starts to defend, he will slow down. And then Brown and McCurris has moved into 4th place. So, privateer driver, independent run driver, Theo McCurris, they cross the line. Oh, with 2 seconds to go, they don't get the last lap board. This is the 14th and penultimate lap. So Rigby has 2 laps to go. And Behrman is taking a tighter line through the banking. Rigby, who's going to start moving around down the hill. Will we see Behrman jump to the inside? Will we see Rigby make a move? Not this time. Behrman takes the normal racing line. Will Rigby duck to the inside into the second hairpin? No. Alfie Rigby wants to wait as long as possible. Checks across. You can see Alfie Rigby just looking over at the grandstand just to see what his mechanic's doing. He'll have been instructed or been given guidance to say this is how you do it, and he's waiting. The clock has struck 0. The last lap board is being unfurled. Oliver Behrman comes on to the start-finish straight, just under 1,500 metres away from a Kartmasters title that he lost very narrowly last year to Harry Thompson. Alfie Rigby will try and break his heart again. Behrman knows. Who's another one? And there's still 1.5 seconds ahead. Down the hill, Behrman checks over his shoulder. He can see there's only Rigby there. Brown and McCurris are not going to catch them. It's going to be a scrap for third between Archie Brown and Theo McCurris, unless something catastrophic happens. There goes Rigby. Rigby makes his move into the second hairpin. He dived out last minute and grabbed the lead. Behrman wasn't caught napping. He wasn't expecting that move there. We're down to half a lap to go. Oliver Behrman, last year's runner-up, has to try and do something. Look for that left-hander. They're coming into the right-hander now. This next corner, is Behrman going to go over it? He can't, because Rigby has got it. Rigby defends. He's going to slow himself down through the Mike Wilson complex. Behrman's got the run over the curve, drag race to the line, wheel to wheel. Behrman on the grass. Oh my goodness me, Behrman gets it by 4,000th of a second, and Oliver Behrman turns second place last year into first place this year, and Alfie Rigby did everything he could. The one thing he didn't do is he didn't drive Oliver Behrman clean off the track, and he has to, and Behrman just kept coming and he just got the momentum. You could see Oliver Behrman setting up Alfie Rigby through. I thought Oliver Behrman was going to go with that left-hander. It's the type of corner that only Oliver Behrman thinks about making a move on, and he showed that he knows a lot more than I do. He waited, and Alfie Rigby was almost suspecting that to happen, because Alfie Rigby defended into that left-hander, and that meant he was a little bit slower through the last chicane, and Behrman just swung wide. He thought to himself, well, if I bend the chassis, I bend the chassis. He launched himself over that curb, got the momentum, and is provisionally your 2017 Grand Prix winner in Cadet Honda. The rest of the top 10, Archie Brown third for Next Gen, then leading privateer Theo McCurris in fourth, Sonny Smith finishes fifth, Aston Miller, Oliver